Welcome to California in the first years of the 1900s, a place that feels like the future is arriving early. Brought back to life with the most advanced AI tools, we're stepping into a decade where cities roar with growth, the coastline hums with ambition, and the Sierra Nevada still feels impossibly wild. From cable cars and construction dust to stagecoaches and giant trees, this is California between 1900 and 1910, not as a textbook, but as a living tour through photos, postcards, sketches, and drawings. San Francisco in the early 1900s feels like a city balanced on energy. Streetcars and cable cars rattling over hills, crowds pouring through downtown, ships lining the bay like a second skyline. It's loud, confident, and always in motion, like the whole Pacific world is passing through here. You can almost smell salt air mixed with coal smoke and hear the clatter of footsteps on wet streets after the fog rolls in. Then 1906 hits, and everything changes in minutes. The earthquake strikes on April 18, 1906, followed by fires that burn for days and cause most of the destruction. And what's haunting is what comes next: tent camps, rubble-lined streets, and then, almost immediately, rebuilding. The decade becomes a before and after story, the same city, but with a new toughness in its eyes. Los Angeles in this decade feels like a place that refuses to stay small. Downtown streets fill with streetcars, wagons, early cars, and people moving like they're chasing tomorrow. And the numbers prove the feeling. The city jumps from about 102,000 people in 1900 to about 319,000 by 1910, more than tripling in a single decade. Daily life runs on heat, hustle, and routine. Markets and small shops anchor neighborhoods. Kids play near porches and corner stores, and evenings pull people outside when the day finally cools down. It's not yet the LA of towering skylines. It's a sunlit, fast-growing city where everyday scenes already hint that something massive is coming. Yosemite in the early 1900s is not a quick stop, it's a journey. Before the automobile becomes the default, many visitors arrive by long routes that include boats, rail connections, and stagecoaches, followed by rugged roads and trails into the valley. That difficulty is part of the magic. When people finally reach Yosemite, it feels earned: towering granite, waterfalls, and a silence so big it makes city life feel like a rumor. Then Sequoia hits differently. Less grand view, more impossible scale. The park was created to protect giant sequoias from logging, and it's been a national park since 1890, so by the 1900s it's already becoming a pilgrimage site for people who want to stand next to something that makes human time feel tiny. You don't just see these trees, you feel them, like living monuments. If you like this tour of California in the early 1900s, please like, subscribe and share the video. It really helps the channel. San Diego in this decade feels like California's southern lookout, bright, coastal and anchored by the water. You see a working harbour, naval activity nearby, and a city that still has room to breathe compared to San Francisco and Los Angeles. The vibe is practical. Ships, docks, small businesses and neighborhoods that feel sunlit and steady rather than frantic. And then, right near the end of the decade, the ambition shows itself. In 1909, local leaders propose what becomes the Panama California Exposition, a bold idea meant to put San Diego on the national map as the Panama Canal approaches completion. Even before the fairgrounds exist, the mindset is already there. San Diego wants to be seen, not as a sleepy coastal town, but as a destination with a global horizon. San Jose in the 1900s is a completely different California story. Quiet streets and open land, with the Santa Clara Valley spreading out in orchards like a patterned carpet. This is a place built on fruit, rows of trees, packing sheds, wagons and seasonal rhythms that decide what life looks like week to week. Before tech, the valley's identity is agricultural, productive, fragrant and surprisingly wealthy in its own way. And the industry isn't just farms, it's processing, shipping, and scale. By the late 1800s, the valley already counts millions of fruit trees, and the growth continues into the early 20th century, powering canneries and packing operations that turn San Jose into a supply hub for far beyond California. San Jose in this decade feels like a calm engine room, feeding the state's boom quietly, while the rest of California grabs headlines. And that's California, 1900 to 1910, a decade where San Francisco learns resilience, Los Angeles learns scale, the mountains stay sacred, San Diego starts dreaming louder, and San Jose quietly feeds the whole machine. If you could time travel to one stop on this tour, Where are you going first? Drop a comment and tell me which state and which decade you want next. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully till the next video,